Hello everybody, I'm back again with some more MediEvil. In the previous episode, we went through the asylum. I almost got a game over. And finally, after all that, we can take on the next level in the correct path, which is the Enchanted Earth. This level might take a little while. It might take maybe two videos at worst. Solely because it's not long per se, but there is a fair bit of stuff to do here. And this is where we can finish the second part of the Witch Quest, which I want to do first because that's a whole level in and of itself, and getting through that might actually take a little while. And immediately we're dealing with interesting enemies here with the toads. These toads spit acid, as you can see, and killing them does not provide any souls for the chalice. Nothing here is particularly evil per se. It's kind of just natural, I guess. That's why it's like that. But there's another cauldron. And this is where you use a talisman.
Who has summoned the Witch of the Forest? Oh, it is you, Sir Fortescue. Forgive me, my lord. I have never met a real hero. Forgive me, just an old lady's little joke. In truth, I am glad to see you, Sir Fortescue. I need 7 pieces of amber that are hidden in the ant's nest. Bring them to me, and I can grant you a special reward. I will only offer you this quest this once. Are you willing to give it a try?
It's only this one time, so why not?
Sorry, didn't I mention I'd have to shrink you to the size of an insect? Now hurry back.
And we advance to the ant caves. This level can be a bit tricky to navigate.
Run, little man. If the master found it now, he would crush it like a bag. Hark! We can hear the soldier ants approaching. Onward and meet your tiny nemesis.
So just like the Enchanted Earth, fighting the ants that are down here doesn't really give anything to the chalice. And I believe that's because they're not, again, evil creatures per se. They're just natural.
Thank you for releasing me, sir. My people wish only to live our lives in blissful harmony with nature. But alas, the wicked Ant Queen has many of us imprisoned. Rescue my people, Mr. Fortescue, and you will be richly rewarded.
I still don't know why those fairies look and sound like that, but it is still funny to see. Having the hammer here really helps. This is a club. Yeah. Obviously, you're meant to smash these bugs.
Here we are. I shall open the entrance for you. These fireflies are my friends. They will light your way through the darkness below.
Having those fireflies will certainly help because the ant caves are dark and it's hard to see down here. Even with them though, it can be a bit tough to navigate because this place is pretty big. Now there's 2 different kinds of ant enemies down here. There are the regular red ones that will just run and try to bite you, and ones that have like a slight purple tint that will spit acid at you. These little cocoons have some money in them at times, and your objective is to release these fairies. Overall, the level itself isn't too difficult. As long as you know what you're doing, it should be fine. but with the sheer number of enemies like this, and the damage they can inflict upon you in masses, it can be a bit tricky. But as long as, again, you know what you're doing, it shouldn't be an issue. The only real issue, really, in this level is making your way around the map and making sure you get all the fairies out in one piece. The other objective, as the witch said, are the pieces of amber, and you're going to want to get everything before facing the queen, which, spoiler alert, you will be doing. That's how you get out of this level. Really, there's not much to it. It's not too difficult per se. I would say the Enchanted Earth itself is much more difficult as a level. And I don't quite remember what the reward is for finishing this quest. I mean, I do know half the reward, I mean from releasing all the fairies. I guess I could talk about how this level, I guess for me, is the most nostalgic, because I remember this level the most from when I played this game as a kid. And that's only because I really remember the boss the most. And I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it is quite funny that one of the most memorable bosses to me is in this level, while the Enchanted Earth has my least favorite boss. Spoiler alert, because there's a boss in there too. I forget if these guys are infinite spawn. I think they might be until you beat the boss. But once you do that, you don't have to come back to this level again. I don't think you can, even if you tried. And I think, yeah, this is the wrong way. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm already getting mixed around. I guess on as a bright side to this, if you get lost, it's fairly simple to backtrack to the correct area. So I don't think we've been down this path yet. Generally, if you see a cocoon anywhere, you know you're in the right spot. And they're generous with the healing vials because they know this place can be a bit messy to go through. There's a central area. I'm going to save that health vial until I need it, if I can remember where it is. And yeah, that's really about it. With us being on this second path now, I guess this also means we're around halfway through the game, officially. Obviously, this means that the game is going to get a lot tougher. Not as tough as the Asylum, hopefully. But I can think of at least one other level that's really tough. And that's not even because of the enemies, it's mostly because of the platforming. Because yes, this game has platforming, as if you couldn't tell already. And even then, it's not quite impossible. Obviously, it's not impossible. It's not as bad as I make it sound. There's a reason you can make Dan walk instead of run, and I really recommend that for the level that's to come that I'm talking about. But that's not for a little while. That's the other path. Actually, no, I think I have to go that way for the health vial. And I'm wrong. I don't go that way, that's where I came from. Getting lost. But I mentioned though, don't feel bad if you get lost in this level. It's big, it's not the worst to navigate, but it's just not easy to really go through, as I keep mentioning. I guess that's one thing I can say. I apologize if my commentary is really repetitive. That is the boss. There's a healing fountain there as well. There's a go beyond this point, featuring the Ant Queen. Once you encounter her six-legged realness, there will be no going back. There is thankfully a shop gargoyle right there as well, and a healing spring, which I will gladly use. But we're not done yet. I am not going to face her until I get all the fairies and the amber. And I believe there's one of each left. That's the main issue with this level. You can find where you're meant to go, but not what you need. But, hey, this central chamber, thankfully... Okay. Die. Pest control. Fun times. And I swear there's another way to the healing potion here, unless I just missed it. Because I think that's where the other, that last Amber and Fairy are. Okay, there's this thing. There's the last Amber. And this is probably where the last Fairy is too. Strangely enough, these things have money in them. And then behind that last breakable wall is probably where the fairy is. Alley-ho! Why did I say that? Healing Vow, and there's the last one. Never mind, there's one more of each, I think. How many? Okay, I have 7 Amber, just 1 fairy. And that fairy should be back here. Somewhere around here. There's the other spring. And that was a four-way intersection, I believe, so shouldn't be that path. Some more amber? More amber if you need it, I guess. And there's the last fairy. So there's always going to be more amber if you need it. I guess it's not that hard to find. It's just a mess to navigate this entire thing. Okay, all fairies freed. Die, please. Money. I have almost 2,700 money, gold, and I really don't need it. That's all the fairies, that's all the amber. Now it's time to face the boss, if I can get back to her. I really thought this level would be a lot longer. I mean, 12 minutes is not great, but it's better than running around here for 20 minutes in total. Am I going on a different path now? Or did I just not get that health bio from earlier? Now I'm confused. Ugh. And I feel like I'm running around in circles now. I don't think I am. Yeah, this should be where the queen is. A chamber before it. Yes, perfect. Fully healed. Do I have full ammo? And the sword is not really worth it during this fight. Supplies. All good to go. You need to fight with ranged weapons. Getting up close is no good. And start off with the longbow, I guess. I don't think we've used it yet. Or the spear as well. I could buy both, but I'll stick with the longbow. And so, here she is. With 1,000 hit points, and me about to get bit. Hitting the queen is only an option when she rears her head back. So you might have to go back and forth between weapons like this. You'll know it's time to attack when she does this. Rocks will fall from the ceiling. And look at this. Half her health bar in one attack. I'll probably go back to heal in between levels, but really, as you can see there, this fight isn't really that hard. I thought it was going to be a lot harder, but maybe it's just me when I was a kid. Let's do this. If this goes well, this should be it. Almost, but really it's not too difficult. Just make sure you avoid her attacks, daring dash if you need to, squash the ants, and you're golden. Of course, I'm no pro player, so I get hit. And that's it. And once that's done, you can just jump down here. What? Oh, is she just still looking after or something? I don't know what hit me there.
Bless me, if it isn't Daniel, Lord of the Ants. Hold still, and I'll remove the shrink spell. Oh, lovely, lovely Amber. Here you are, Sir Knight. A wart-covered and cabbage-smelling old crone I may be, but I always keep my promises. I grant you my reward.
You have helped to free all the fairy people from the clutches of the filthy ant scum. As a reward, I can grant you passage to the Hall of Heroes. I've never been there myself, but I've heard they got a free
And for our
bar.
troubles, we get 2 trophies and a new weapon. Sort of. We got a trophy for killing the Ant Queen, for helping out both witches, and the chicken drumstick here, I'll go into detail after we get our next gift. And I think I have an idea of what it is. And it should be a really good help for us in this next, going back to the Enchanted Earth. Did we already get it, actually? Oh yeah, the flaming longbow, so no, it's not that one.
Hey, Mr. Fortisque, I want to talk with you. If this Zorak's so bad, why'd you get to go back? Why'd you of all people, Fortisque? It should be I, Blood Monatha Skull Cleaver. When I lived, always I had a pile of slain strewn around me. You spend most of your time organizing a changing of the guard and playing croquet with the king. Still, I lend you my axe. You a swing her.
We
You
will accept
throw
the
her.
axe.
She thirsts for a slaughter as much as I. Drink deep
I
of
guess I'll go over the
demon
axe
blood,
first.
my proud
It sounds
beauty.
promising, and pressing square allows you to throw it like a boomerang. However, the axe isn't really all that great. It's functionally the same as the arm, just a more powerful version of it. So I honestly can't recommend using it. It's not the worst weapon in the game by far. That's the arm, but it's not much better. As for the chicken drumstick, it's another projectile weapon. It has limited ammo, as you can see here, but it's unique in that killing an enemy with it turns them into fried chicken. I am completely serious. I'll see if I can show this off. There's just a little bit more time left. And the fried chicken it spawns, I can show it to you real quick. The fried chicken does heal you. Somehow. Somehow Dan eats it. Now, even though we technically went through the ant caves, there is no chalice, and we didn't really go through the Enchanted Earth, which is why the next level does not unlock. That's really just a side quest for you to get that weapon, the fried chicken. I'm gonna re-enter the graveyard just so I can show you guys what it does. And those 2 trophies we got were for helping out both the witches and for slaying the Ant Queen. Pretty simple stuff, all things considered. As you can see, there's a little green wisp, which is the sign in its projectile. And yeah, fried chicken that will heal you. It's crazy, but it works. Doesn't heal you by much, but it heals you. And I believe killing 30 enemies with this fried chicken allows you to get a trophy, which we just got. The fried chicken is undoubtedly a weird weapon, which I just wasted an ammo for. But it's hilarious to use. It's one of the funniest weapons that I've ever seen in a game ever. I think we can buy more ammo for it. But really, that's about it. I'm gonna run through this level real quick, and I will meet you guys back in the Enchanted Earth for the next episode. And I will see you guys then.